It's time to talk about the Canon RF 15-35mm f2.8 L USM lens. Did I get that right? I forgot the image stabilization. Ugh. If you're in the Canon family, you probably know already that this lens is one of the trinity of lenses. If you're not familiar with that, you can actually check out this video that I did on Canon's YouTube all about that trinity of lenses for the RF series. It's the 15-35, the 24-70, and the 70-200, all 2.8 lenses, f2.8 lenses. They are called the trinity because, well, they just cover all the bases at 2.8. This lens is not one I actually thought I would buy. I used to have the old EF 16-35, and then when it went to the 15-35, I'm pretty sure I didn't buy it, honestly, because I didn't like the way that the edges looked. It wasn't as crisp, and granted, I probably bought it used at that time because that's just what my budget allowed for. But when the RF version came out and I got to play with it, I was very pleasantly surprised with how clean and crisp this was all the way to the edges. You don't see as much of that distortion that you would expect when you're going all the way to 15mm on a full frame camera. Of course, being at 2.8 is especially helpful for those shooting in low light or those wanting to get a little bit more of a blurry background, maybe at 35mm. And as a wedding photographer, it's kind of a must that I have a wide angle lens like this in order to photograph the entire reception area. If I don't do that, one of my couples is going to be really mad at me that I did not capture the whole thing. So this lens is not the least expensive. It's not the most expensive lens in the world. It comes in at $22.99 at the time of this recording, and it goes in my wedding bag every single time. If you want to see what else goes in my wedding bag, we've got a video on that too. There's really no excuse for ugly content anymore, not with Storyblocks anyway. If you haven't heard about Storyblocks, they are a company that has stock everything. Now when you're creating content for social media, for ads, for your website, you're able to search right on Storyblocks and find things like video footage, backgrounds, templates, photos, snapshots, vectors, and illustrations. And of course, music and sound effects to go with it. There are over 2.6 million assets. You are sure to find exactly what you need with the industry-leading licensing that Storyblocks has. And of course, you've got the capability for unlimited downloads, so you can explore that stock library and create better imagery faster than ever before. Take a look at the link that I have down here in the description. I'm sure you are going to love it, and make sure you click on that link. I get brownie points, and we get to keep continuing making videos like this one. So thank you so much, Storyblocks, for supporting me and my channel and this video. Now let's get back to that video. Let me tell you a little bit more about this lens. First of all, it's an L series lens, so you know it's got the best possible glass in here. You know it's going to be a clean, crisp image all the way through. Of course, you have your control ring. It's not totally smooth. It does have the stops, and you could program it accordingly on your camera. We do have image stabilizer in this lens, which is especially helpful if you're shooting in low light. For me, for example, and I'm wondering why that wasn't switched to on, I like to shoot a really wide shot of the reception at a very low shutter speed, holding my breath, hoping the image stabilization in the lens and the camera works together harmoniously so I can shoot at about a 1 second exposure, getting all the movement on the dance floor and freezing things like the chandeliers and the rest of the room. So I personally love the fact that this lens has image stabilization in it. Of course, you've got auto and manual focus. Your closest focusing distance is 0.92 feet or 0.28 meters, and the filter size is 82mm. Inside this little darling, you have 9 diaphragm blades and 16 elements within 12 groups. That might not mean a lot to a lot of you, but you know what? It just means it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna get hate for that one. I'm just gonna be killjoy. It's good. That's what you have to tell us. It's good. This comes in under 2 pounds, so it's not going to be the heaviest lens in your bag, and I think that's all I got to tell you about this. Nice, crisp, clean to the edges. It's just a staple. It's one of those staples that most people hope they put in their camera bag at some point. Let me know what you think of this lens. Is it something you want to get or already have in your camera bag? Hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. See you next time.